So, hello and welcome to the Human Story Behind the Business and Brand podcast. So, I'm the host, Jeanette Walton. I'm a career brand consultant and a Humans Matter champion who's really committed to helping others deep dive into their many human facets that make them unique, fabulous beings. I'm also a strong advocate of storytelling to enrich our human connections. This podcast series slightly deviates from the Human Behind the Career Brand podcast, in that it delves more deeply into those poignant moments, experiences and lessons that shaped a range of professionals into who they are and what they do today. It discusses their feats, flaws, fears and foundations, and all the other fabulous human elements that drive them in their professional and their personal lives. So my next guest for this podcast series is career strategist and the founder of OZGRADS Nazrul Islam. Based in Sydney, Australia, Nazrul supports international students in finding job opportunities in Australia. It's a personal mission of his as a former international student who faced numerous challenges when settling into the Australian workforce, including the navigation of visa, work and residency visas, and overcoming a range of cultural barriers to settle into the Australian lifestyle. He founded OZGRADS in 2024 with the primary mission of equipping international students to be able to gain work in the competitive Australian job market. Nazrul has been involved in student development, including future career pathways across various Australian institutions for over a decade. This includes as a regional trainer, team leader at ACAP University College, as a Professional Year Program Facilitator at Navitas, and as an L&D Specialist at the Macquarie Education Group Australia. He has supported more than 500 international students in securing roles aligned with their qualifications and their aspirations, underpinned by the combination of practical job search strategy as well as mindset and confidence development. So welcome, Nazrul. What a pleasure it is to have you on my podcast.
It's my pleasure as well, Jeanette, to be able to speak to you.
Yeah, and I can't wait to delve into your own experience as an international student.
Yeah.
So with that in mind, my first question is that you apply lived experience to effectively help international students seeking work in Australia. What are the main personal experiences of yours that fuel this ambition?
The thing is, Jeanette, when I started, I was a very bright student. Academically, I was doing everything right, but I was not being seen professionally. So I struggled a lot. I applied for more than 450 jobs, and two and a half years, nothing. So I started questioning myself. Then I tried to reverse engineer it. Yeah. So I tried to reverse engineer it, and I studied hiring behavior. I observed how local students secured internships, then graduate positions, and I learned networking the hard way, Jeanette. So what I do at OZGRADS now is what I have learned myself and what I have done myself and what I've been doing for the last more than a decade, more than 10 years now.
And what do you think led to you getting your first job?
Yeah, that was connection, networking.
The networking.
Yes, it helped manage. Yes, it's so powerful here in Australia, honestly. Yeah, it helped, it worked like magic with me. Yeah, so I applied on Seek, LinkedIn, and so many Indeed, but nothing happened.
2 years, that's a long time.
Yes, that's a long time.
After you'd finished your studies, yes?
Yes, when I finished my master's, I think in 2011 or 10. And, I was being awarded the Dean's List in 2011, I think. So my grades were really good, but I struggled.
Academically.
Yes, yeah. I did.
Yeah, okay. Well, let's delve a bit deeper with some of these questions I've got for you. So what were the primary challenges you faced when you arrived in Australia as an international student?
The first one was, I have to say, it was the Australian accent. Yes, it is very unique, and I struggled to understand and communicate with them properly. So it took me a time, but I was all right. And the other thing was, Jeanette, when you come by yourself from so far away from a different country, there's no clear guidance here. There's no one to guide you, hold your hand and guide you through your career journey, your study. No one tells you, you do this, you do this, you do that. So I was lonely, and it was heavy for me. Then I had to carry the academic pressure, then financial pressure, then visa pressure, all at once. So It was a journey. When I think of it, I get emotional. honestly.
Really, it was
Yeah.
that much of a hardship for you when you first
Yes.
arrived, settling
Yes.
in.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, yeah. And do you think you've got the knack of the Australian accent now?
A bit. So I understand. I don't try to copy, so I talk myself, but
I wouldn't try to copy it. It's not a very nice accent.
yeah, it's not very nice, yeah. But I understand how they pronounce, and when you talk to someone, talk to Australians like for like last 18 years, so you pick up few things. When you talk, you
Yeah.
sound a bit like them, but not 100%.
And get to know the slang, obviously, yeah?
Yes, of course. Tell me about
Yeah.
it. Yeah, I know. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, okay. So, what did you particularly like about Australia after you settled in as an international student?
Australia rewards initiative and they value authenticity. If you're authentic, they value it greatly. That's what I love about Australia. And the
Yeah, we're
thing
pretty
is like,
straight up, aren't we?
yeah, it's pretty straight up, and I love it. And once you understand this system, I realize that it's fair. It's reasonably fair for everyone. Employers value skills over status, and if you demonstrate value clearly, if you can demonstrate to employers, doors open. Doors open up.
Yeah, love hearing that. Yes, yes. Give everyone a fair go, yeah?
Yes,
That's
exactly.
Australia. Yeah, yeah. Okay, I'm glad that that's how you perceived it after you felt a bit more
Yes, and I
settled.
believe it is
Yeah,
strongly, Jeanette.
yeah, that's fabulous. Now, you mentioned that there were visa pressures that you had to
Yeah.
navigate to be able to settle
Yes.
in and work in Australia. What type of
Yes.
pressures?
Actually, the thing was when I applied for residency, it took me 2.5 years.
Wow,
Like, yes, unfortunately, my friends who applied, they got it in 1 week, 10 days
well, that's
max.
not fair.
Some got it. I made a mistake along the way. That was my mistake.
So
I
you
called the
you
case officer.
recognise what you'd done wrong, or
Yes, yes, of course. And like my friends, some of my friends got their residency within 1 or 2 days. Some of them got it in maximum 10 days. So after 10 days, when I saw that I'm not getting it, I called the case officer. Back then, you could call immigration, call the case officer. And I couldn't communicate with her properly. So yeah, that was the problem. So I couldn't communicate with her. I didn't know how to communicate that back then, honestly.
was that the Australian accent that was the
No,
issue
it's not
again?
just accent. Like I was honestly, I was rude to her. I was rude to her. I have to say it, and that's it. This is the truth. I was rude
And
to
it
her.
didn't go well for you with the way
Yes,
you
it didn't go
approached
well
that
for the
conversation.
how I approach, and that's one of the biggest lesson I have right now with me in Australia. That's one of the biggest. This is what I tell my students all the time, no matter who that is, no matter which class is it. I tell them one, be respectful and be kind to everyone.
Yes, yes. And that's a valuable life lesson wherever you are, isn't it? Not just in Australia. Yeah. But yeah, I know there's some cultures where how people communicate can maybe come across as a bit abrupt to Australians.
Yes,
So
yes,
yeah, we're straight up, but we're more polite, as you say.
exactly.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, that's probably the English influence that Australia has had in the early
Yeah,
days.
could be.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And I imagine it must have been like you would have just been thinking, if my friends have got it that quick, I'm a shoo-in, it's going to happen. So I can understand you would have been really distressed when it didn't happen for you like it had for them.
Yes, exactly. And those 2.5 years, every single night felt like 1 year to me. I was hoping I wake up tomorrow, I will receive an email about my
Yeah.
residency. And I kept on waiting 2.5 years for that. I wish no one goes through that path.
Yeah, they're not knowing you're living in limbo, aren't you? Yes.
Exactly. I wasn't sure what is happening. I was
Yeah.
doing interviews. I was doing great at interviews, and they just told me one thing. I'm sorry, we cannot offer you anything because you don't have full like work right in Australia.
Yes.
And that
Yes.
was that was crazy. That was
That
crazy.
would have been frustrating.
Very frustrating for me.
So, in hindsight, if you'd approached that first conversation better, as you've
Mm-hmm.
learnt, you think it
Mm-hmm.
wouldn't have gone as long as it did? Like it wouldn't have taken
No,
over two
she was
years?
very polite to me when I
Yeah,
was talking to her. She was very polite. I was a bit rude to her. I was questioning her like method, like what are you doing, these sort of things.
because you were frustrated.
I was frustrated, yes, because everyone, like, we had 30 students, 27 of them got residency in 10 days, and it's just me and other two.
Wow, no wonder you were that frustrated. My
Yes,
God.
I
Yeah.
was like, what is happening to me? What is wrong with me?
Especially when you're doing so well academically, yeah?
Yes, exactly.
But that's very wise advice, isn't it? From that first conversation, keep it polite and civil and,
Yeah, exactly. Keep it polite,
yeah,
be kind, be respectful to others. That's it. Yeah.
Australian way.
Yeah,
And
yes.
How important do you believe it is for international students to start building networks and connections in Australia while undertaking their studies, particularly if they plan on staying here?
Very, 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 very important, Jeanette, because I'm the prime example. I
Yep.
told you that I was struggling for jobs 2.5 years because I didn't have any good connection. I didn't talk to my friends. I didn't talk to my peers. I
You
was
just
an
studied.
introvert. Yeah, I studied. I was an introvert. Like I studied books online and these things. I was an introvert, honestly. I didn't know how to talk to people. I didn't want to talk to people. I locked myself in a shell. I never came out. So when I started, saw the relevance, like I talked to you, you know 10 more people or 5 more people. I talked to 5 more people, I know 25 more. And that connection I have to tell you that I never thought networking is so powerful in Australia. So much. So I have done a lot of studies because I still study a lot. So I've seen that 80 to 87% of jobs students or
People you know?
any professionals get, yes, they get from the people you know. 80 to 87% is done through networking.
That's massive,
And the
isn't it?
rest, yes, the rest 10, 13% through your own performance and your own applications that you do through Seek or LinkedIn.
Yeah, yeah, I know. I mean, you're probably aware that I'm in the career development industry myself. I've been writing
Yes,
resumes and
yes.
stuff for 15
Yes,
years. And it's often, yeah, when someone's struggling to get a job, it's like, well, who do you know? Like, what about former colleagues and yeah, maybe from your studies? Who else do you know? Start connecting on LinkedIn with valuable connections, reach out to recruiters. Yeah,
yes,
yeah,
yes. Because what I believe that people hire who they feel safe with. They don't want to hire anyone who feels risky to them. So if
yeah.
I know someone that knows you, that makes me feel safer with them.
Bit like buying
So
a car
that's,
or something, isn't it? It's but when,
yeah,
someone
anything you do.
recommends, yeah,
Exactly.
you
Anything you
know the
do. So
background.
networking, exactly. You feel safer. You feel safer. So
Yeah, for
networking here is not just manipulation. It's familiarity,
yeah,
feeling
yeah,
safe. That's it.
yeah, yeah. Wise advice. So, what type of connections have you made since you permanently relocated to Australia that have been particularly beneficial to your own career journey?
My mentors, my peers, my managers who challenged me, like I had challenging managers. I wouldn't tell you that all my managers were angels. No, I had challenging me, but that taught me a lot, and I thank them now from the
Yes,
bottom of my heart. I thank them a lot. I have learned so much from those ones, and I know now how to treat your employees with love and care, with respect.
yes,
So
yes. So you go.
so, and then more industry professional who helped me review my resume because there was no one, I told you, there was no one who checked my resume because I was using one resume for 450 jobs, Jeanette. One resume, one cover letter. No wonder
The
no one
spray
was
and
calling me.
pray approach, as I had a recruiter refer to it as
Yes,
recently.
yes. So, and all these experiences combined together. I tell my students that don't go and approach someone without researching them properly. Don't make connection with your friends, with your peers who is getting jobs or interviews. Talk to them. Ask them, how did they do it? Learn from
Yeah,
them. Yes,
yes.
learn from them.
Stay
So definitely,
curious. Stay curious,
exactly.
yes?
Stay curious and stay hungry. You need to be
Yeah.
hungry for a job if you want it.
Yes. Yeah. Keep putting yourself out there. Over time,
Yes,
it's
yes,
going to come to fruition, isn't it? So,
yes.
you also highlight mindset as a big driver for gaining employment as an international student in Australia. Why do you think that is?
This is the biggest thing. Your mind drives you, Jeanette. Your back of your head, that silent voice keeps on telling you, don't apply for the job. No, they want Australian experience. They want Aussies. They don't want international students. That voice, you have to shut it down. You have to try. You have to come out of your shell and then explore the world. Then you'll know that there are opportunities. I can tell you last week I have congratulated at least nearly 100 international students on LinkedIn because I saw them that they're getting a role as a graduate engineer or graduate IT role, internships and paid roles too. So if in 1 week I can say thank you or congratulations to 100 students, can you see the number? There are opportunities. There are opportunities.
Yeah, there are.
So international students, they under apply because they think I'm not capable of doing this. They undersell. They don't sell themselves very well to the
Yeah.
employers.
Yep.
And they self-reject before the employers do it.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. So a lot of the time it's their own barriers,
Yes,
not the
own barriers.
recruiters. Yeah, okay.
Yes. So when I talk to my students who come to my sessions or in my class, I ask them first question, how many jobs have you applied for? Then some says 100 in 1 week, some says 20, some says zero. The ones who say zero, I ask them, why don't you apply for jobs? They say, I'm preparing myself. Then I go, how long have you been preparing yourself? 6 months, 3 months?
Yeah, okay. Wow. Yeah.
You get my point? That preparation never ends because they think, okay, let me get one more certification, then I'll apply. Let me do one
Yes.
more thing, then I'll apply.
Yeah.
And
So it's
it's
avoidance,
never
isn't it?
ending.
It's
Yeah, it's
avoidance.
avoidance. It's avoidance. You're avoiding the job, the
Yeah.
real work. That's
Yeah.
it.
And I think, sorry, I was just going to say, I think,
Yeah,
as someone who's been
please, yeah.
writing career documentation for, like, as I say, around 15 years, I've definitely seen a change over that time. I think it's a lot more acceptable now for people to have international backgrounds, because some of these students might have already worked overseas. And it seems to be becoming more acceptable in the Australian market. I
Yes,
think LinkedIn and platforms like that are just making us have a bigger global mindset. Would you agree with that?
yes, 100%. I
Yeah,
tell my students, don't think you're international, you don't have nothing. No, that's a global power you're bringing to any company.
absolutely.
That's a global
100%.
power you're bringing. Yeah, that your mindset, you have seen the world, you have traveled, you have lived here, you have studied 20 hours, 24 hours, you have struggled to pay your tuition fee, you're supporting your family. The locals don't do it.
Yeah.
So
Yes.
you're doing a lot more than the others. So you bring the thing you're bringing to any employer, any company, that's massive. That's global.
It's unique and it's value add.
Unique. Unique. It's very unique.
Yeah,
So that's,
absolutely.
yeah.
I'll just quickly touch on this. I had someone recently reach out to me who had just moved from India, end of last year, and she had this amazing career background that was really globally focused in supply chains, and her resume was really not highlighting, but she'd focus on the APAC region, which is so beneficial for Australia. Yeah, so after I gave her some feedback about all that, she just recently got a job, and it was about her highlighting that, okay, I've been overseas, but look what I've been doing overseas and how
Exactly.
beneficial that is for Australia.
Exactly. So the
Yeah,
mindset they're bringing, that international mindset and focus, that's invaluable, Jeanette, honestly.
yeah, yeah.
And I've checked the same feedback. I've checked one resume last night at 8:30. I was just about to leave the office. Someone messaged me on LinkedIn, "Hey, would you be able to check my resume?" I checked and I told her the same thing, Jeanette, that your resume, you have very good skill.
It's how you sell yourself, isn't it? Yeah, yeah, spot on. So, are there any notable examples of how you overcome your own mindset or confidence barriers or overcame them to kickstart a successful career in Australia? You have touched on that, but would there be any standout examples of how you overcame your mindset or those lack of confidence
Yes,
barriers?
yes, lack of confidence. I wasn't confident enough. Even with strong grades, I believed no one would hire me, Jeanette.
Yeah,
No one would hire me. And I remember not applying for a role because I thought they probably want someone local. That's what I thought. I didn't apply
right.
for
It
that
really
role.
is. That is a
Yes.
mindset, isn't it, among
Yeah,
international students by the sound
of
of it?
course. That's a
Yeah.
mindset. Like that low confidence, like they think, oh, how would I talk in interview? And I tell my students all the time, remember, the interviewers are not English grammar teachers. Your
Yes.
English doesn't matter. Your
No,
English doesn't matter as long as you can prove yourself, as long as you can talk and tell them what skills and experiences you will bring into this company and how it creates value and how it will help them, you'll get hired.
they don't care what your accent is if you're going to deliver for them.
Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah. Very wise advice. So,
And
would, yep, you go.
from day number one, I've made a promise, and this is what I tell everyone. Let the employer reject you. Don't reject yourself.
And something, that I'm sure you regularly tell people that I do as well is, when you do get rejected, reach out and ask why where you can. Get some feedback. Because a lot of the time it's out of your hands. It's nothing to do with your capabilities. They could already have had someone lined up or there's something really specific they were looking for. So yeah, to get that recruiter feedback can be really beneficial in terms of not getting too down about rejection.
Exactly. Not just that, Jeanette. It also helps them understand what can they do better in the next interview.
Exactly. Learn from it.
Yes. So follow
Yep.
up. Even if you don't get the job, just follow up.
Yep.
What will happen if you just send them an email? They will reply to you, and that's it.
Yes,
That's it.
that's right. That's right.
Yeah.
And that's being proactive and being hungry, like you said earlier, yeah? That's all part of it.
And that's how you build resilience by getting rejected.
Yes.
Yes, that's
Yes.
how you build your
And
mindset.
learning from it.
Of course, definitely.
Yeah, that's great. So, would there be a notable example of an international student that you've supported who perhaps exceeded expectations in terms of career success in Australia? You don't have to name names, but is there a standout
Yeah,
example?
sure. I can tell you one example from my class from 2019. So that boy, like he came late to class. He didn't talk to anyone. When he did his assignments or assessments or class activities, he that was all rubbish. Like his performance was like, what is he doing? Did he even read the instruction properly?
Really?
Because I was thinking my son could do it. Why can't he? Then he was very disengaged. He did the bare minimum, very introvert, avoided speaking up in class, and just avoided everything. So I had a personal chat with him. So what I did, I took him out on the next class, which was empty. I kept on talking to him. Like not directly, like very slowly, day by day. We worked on discipline first, then we worked on communication, how to open yourself up, slowly talking and making friends, then positioning his engineering projects with measurable impact. He has done so good projects from, I think, UNSW. I thought I have checked so many
Just not
resumes
putting it
here.
out there.
No, you should put it out because I haven't seen a single resume that highlights this or done these sort of projects, and his grades were amazing.
Yeah,
It's not
okay.
just grades, his projects were amazing. And I checked his project report, the matrix, the output, the outcome, the result was amazing. So I started pushing him to talk to his classmates, one or two, start with one person, be good friends. Then I slowly asked him, reach out to industry employers, make industry contacts, be visible on LinkedIn. And then slowly he improved. And his first job, Jeanette, he was 21 years old. It was 120K.
Yeah, okay.
And
Because
now
he had those capabilities, yeah?
he had, and I saw it. I saw it in him. And today he works at Hilti, and he is one of the like big bosses at Hilti. He takes care of other engineers who's like older than him.
Yeah, wow.
So he travels to Sweden, he travels to Singapore. Like he goes by one name, Hilti in Australia.
Yeah, yeah, wow. And what do you think? Was there like a light bulb moment, or like how did you get him to transition from being that quiet, unassuming person to being willing to put himself out there?
The transformation wasn't the job, it was his identity. That's got changed. That's what he changed.
Yeah.
And he stopped hiding.
Was that
He
through
stopped hiding.
you giving him recognition of what he'd done
Yeah,
already? Yeah.
guiding him. Like, because I see potential. Like when I check resume, see resume, talk to people, I see potential. So I saw that he's hiding not just himself, his own potential in a box. So I made him talk to people, reach out to employers, start applying for jobs because he
Yeah.
had that mindset too. He had that mindset that I can't do it. I can't do it.
Yeah.
I don't want to talk to people. So slowly opening up, slowly making connection helped him greatly. And he is what he is today because of he opened up. He changed his identity. Yeah.
What differences do you mainly perceive between Australia and other job markets?
They have to know about Australian workplace culture. That's the first thing. That's the biggest gap I have ever seen when I talk to students. Australia values cultural fit. They appreciate clear communication. They appreciate practical experience. And of course, they love referrals. So, and also in Australia, I see that interviews are mostly behavioral. So the STAR method, STAR, is very critical here during interview. Even when you set up and write your cover letter, even when you write your resume, STAR method, follow it. Follow it.
Yeah,
It's not hard. Like you
absolutely.
learn it by doing it continuously. You learn it
Yep.
by doing it again and again and again. Then you know what STAR is. Okay.
Yep.
And interviewers expect in Australia concise, result oriented, impact focused answers. They don't take vague answers like I have experience in retail. I've been working there for 10 years. I've managed this, I've done this, I've done this. Everyone can say it. But when
Yeah.
you mention the matrix, I have dealt with at least 10,000 customers in last 5 years at David Jones. That makes sense. All
Yes.
right.
Yes.
So those mentioning those numbers, the matrices, and what you have actually done, following STAR method, even though it's not a behavioral question, I teach my students every single question can be answered with STAR method. Every single question.
Absolutely. Yeah, listing
Yes,
out your achievements using the STAR
exactly.
methodology. Yep.
Exactly.
Yep.
Tell us the problem. How did you solve it? What was the outcome? Even if you failed, that's fine. Even if the result wasn't good, that's fine. What you
But
have
what did you
learned
learn
from
from
that,
it?
learn from it. How did you apply it in the next job?
Yeah. Yep.
Exactly. Yeah.
And for interviews, it's quite often used in
It's
Australia
crucial.
too.
It's
Yeah.
crucial. In Australia, if
Yeah.
you have to success in interviews, public sector, it's a must. It's a must for government
Yep.
jobs or public sector.
Yes.
But even for in private sector, for international students, if they apply it, the interview,
Helps people, doesn't it?
it helps people. The storytelling, it's
Yes.
amazing, Jeanette.
Yes.
It's a pure
Yes.
storytelling. And when you're giving me a story through STAR method, I can feel how good of a communicator you are.
Yes.
You're writing in your resume that I have got very good communication skill, but you're telling me through your writing skill in your
Yes.
resume and cover letter and how you talk during interview.
Yep. And now you've got me curious. How do you feel about people using AI to produce resumes?
My students do it all the time.
Yeah.
Even to be honest, Jeanette, I use AI too. I wouldn't say I don't. But the thing is, I tell them one thing. I had a session this morning and I told them the same thing. I don't mind you. We cannot stop people from using AI. I
It's going to
cannot
happen.
stop
It's
anyone.
happening.
It's happening and it will happen. This is the
Yeah.
future. This is what's happening.
Yep.
I tell students one thing. If you go to Seek or LinkedIn or anywhere, you read the job description thrice by yourself before feeding it to ChatGPT. Before giving it to Chat, you read it yourself, understand the company, understand what they value, understand the keywords, understand what they're asking from you. And
Yes.
then you go ahead and talk to your friend, your best friend, ChatGPT, and then design your resume. I don't mind, but make sure
It's
whatever result it
personalizing it, isn't it?
produces, yeah,
Yeah.
whatever result it produces, whatever it's giving you, read and understand.
Yeah.
You
Because you've got
read
to
and
talk to your
understand.
resume. You have to talk to your resume in an
Exactly.
interview. Yeah. Yep.
Exactly.
Yep.
Because you can write a lot of things in your resume and cover letter, but as soon as you go to interview and open your mouth, I know who you are.
Yeah. Exactly.
I find it. I know who you are. So don't fluff or bluff in resume. Doesn't work in Australia.
Particularly in Australia. Yeah.
Yes, it doesn't
No.
work.
No crap.
No crap.
Yeah.
And as soon as you walk into the interview room, Jeanette, first impression is the last impression.
Yeah. First
Because
impressions are
I've taken
essential.
more than hundreds of interviews, hundreds. So
Yep.
first impression is the last impression.
Yep.
So you have to know that. And as soon as you open up your mouth, you're making that biggest first impression.
And as we touched on earlier, it's not about whether or not you have an accent, it's what you say. Yeah. Yes, absolutely. Now, if you were just arriving in Australia now as an international student, what would you do differently to what you did?
The first thing from day number one, start networking.
Yeah.
Talk to people.
Yep.
Start networking through LinkedIn.
Get to know. Is that locals as well? You're thinking
Of
locals as
course,
well as
get to
fellow
know
students?
them, know their culture,
Yeah.
because you'll be working with them in the
Yeah.
future. Know them, how they talk, know everything. Then build LinkedIn strategically. LinkedIn is so powerful. It
Yeah,
is the
it is very
platform
powerful.
for networking, honestly. It's a networking powerhouse. I just wrote a post, I think, yesterday or day before yesterday about LinkedIn. And I spoke about how good of a powerful, how massively powerful LinkedIn is in
Yeah,
terms of
it is
networking.
very powerful.
And then seek internship from your first year. Research your market. Look at the markets. If you're an engineer, if you're IT, whatever you're doing, research the market. See if there's demand what you're starting right now.
Yeah, yeah.
From year number one, from semester number one, trimester number one, do it from day number one. Okay? Know the market. Get professional advice on resume. You
Yes.
think ChatGPT can do it? Honestly, even
It's not
this
going to
morning,
ask you the questions. It's only going to use what you give it. That's what people forget, yeah? With
yes, exactly. So get professional advice on resume and cover letter on your job. I'm not saying pay someone if you know that someone has got the job using their resume. Go talk to them. Who knows?
yeah.
Talk to
Yep.
someone who knows. Talk to
Yep.
someone who knows.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Surround yourself with people who are ambitious and who's looking for job.
So being curious, being hungry, research, engagement, start putting yourself out there as an international student. Yeah, yeah, I love that. So my last question was going to be any final piece of advice for listeners in terms of optimising career pathways as international students in Australia. So you might have just covered some of that, but is there anything else you'd like to add as your final piece of advice?
I would repeat myself again in few things, Jeanette. I would ask them to change this first before your resume. Open
Yeah,
yourself up.
yep,
Don't shrink inside yourself. Learn the system, learn Australian culture, position yourself clearly. Ask yourself, who do I want to become? What do I want to get a job?
yeah,
Who do I want to become in the future? And build relationships early through LinkedIn or somehow build relationships, meaningful relationships for the sake of just having someone or having
yeah. Quality
2,000
connections,
connections.
isn't it?
Quality
Quality
connection, yes.
connections.
When you send a message on LinkedIn on someone, don't ask for a job. Connect with them. Just connect for
Yeah,
connecting with them, to
yep,
learn from them.
yep.
And I would tell them your international background isn't a weakness. It's a global capital.
Absolutely. Totally agree. Yeah, very wise. Yes. I did a public speaking course last year and there was two other people there. And one was from India and one was from the Philippines. And both of them at some stage said they were worried about their accent. And the teacher, I loved what she said, and she was like, no, that makes you unique. That's who
Yes,
you are, yeah?
that's who you
Don't
are.
be ashamed of how you sound.
No,
That's you.
no. That
Yeah,
represents your culture, your background. Don't be
exactly.
ashamed of who you are.
It's
Yeah, that's
capital,
what I
like you
say.
say.
It's capital, exactly. It's your capital. You have to gain on it,
Yes,
not
yes.
lose on it. Yes,
Exactly. Yeah.
yes.
Yeah, very wise.
So,
Was there
so
something else you wanted to add?
yes, I wanted to add like that self-belief, the belief that you have inside yourself. It can reward you if you can gain on it, if you use it positively rather than shrinking inside yourself, your limiting
Yes.
beliefs. You have to come up.
Yeah.
That's all I would say to anyone who
Yeah.
arrives in Australia.
Yeah. Amazing. And thank you so much for sharing so much about your own personal learning. Yeah. Including being so honest about how perhaps you extended the wait on your
Yes,
permanent visa.
exactly,
Yeah. Thank
exactly.
you for being
And
so honest about all that.
no, no, you have to be honest. This is what Australians
Yeah.
love, being honest,
Yeah.
being
Yeah.
upfront.
Yes. So, yeah, thank you so much for your time, Nazrul.
No problem, Jeanette.
Absolute pleasure speaking with you. And I love the work you're doing to help international students. I
Thank
think it's
you.
wonderful. And I hadn't thought about that how often international students have that lack of confidence because they're from another country about applying for jobs. Yeah.
Exactly. That mindset, because they're always talking inside their head, that voice has to shut off. They have to
Yeah.
learn it. It doesn't happen in first day or a few days because they get rejection. They keep on applying. They don't hear anything from anyone. So that voice keeps on growing inside themselves.
Get too
But there are
powerful, can't it?
strategies. Yes, there are strategies. There are techniques to keep that voice down.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, thank you so much for your time, Nazrul. I better let you go because I know you're a busy man. I really
Thank you.
appreciate what you've shared
Oh,
on this
thank you.
podcast and for sharing
And
your own story too. I really appreciate it.
exactly. And it was a pleasure from my end as well to meet you, Jeanette, because I know you're in the same industry, helping others with their job and
Yes,
with their career.
very
It's
much
a
about helping others and us all
exactly.
appreciating our uniqueness too. Yeah, that's what this podcast is about. So what you're preaching or teaching to your students is exactly what I'm all about on this podcast. So yeah, we're very aligned. So thank you.
Yes. No problem. Thanks to you as well, having me as a guest in your podcast series, and I wish you all the best, Jeanette. And
Likewise.
always keep in touch, please.
Thank you.
No problem, Jeanette.